Hello everybody. Today we will try to do something special. We are going to prepare an SD card, a 32 gigabyte SD card for the Pistorm. So we will have to make at least two partitions. One partition will be a FAT32 partition on which to install the system file for IMO68, and the second one should be a partition with a special ID, ID 76, that we can then repartition again on the Amiga side. In particular, I think I will have three partitions on Amiga side, one for the Workbench, one for the other programs, and one for the Mac. Let's see what we can do to prepare our SD card. Okay, once we have the SD card reader connected to our PC, we call the command prompt cmd, and we open the command prompt as administrator. Then we launch disk part. Disk part is the partition tool for Windows. Then we type list disk to list the system disks, and we see that there is a disk 0 with 465 gigabytes. This is the hard drive on my PC, and then another disk 1 with 29 gigabytes. This one is the SD. You should be very careful doing the selection of the right disk, because if you choose the wrong one, you will destroy the partition on your PC. So I select disk 1, that is the 29 gigabyte disk. Then I clean the disk, so to start from a clean situation. Okay, then clean. We have to insist sometime. Then I create partition primary size equal 2000. So it creates a new partition about 2 gigabytes. That will be the FAT32 partition. Okay, then I select partition 1. This is the 2 gigabyte partition. I activate it with the active command. Then I can format quick file system fs equal FAT32. Okay, now we assign a drive letter for this partition with assign command. Then we need the other partition, the row partition with ID 76, that we will use on our Amiga system. So create partition primary ID equal 76, and that's all. Our SD card is ready to get the IMO68 files on the FAT32 partition and the Amiga files on the other one. Let's see. Okay, now we have to copy into the FAT32 partition of the SD card, the latest EMU68 nightly build. So I have the files here and we just copy them. Then we need the kickstart ROM for the Amiga. I used the 3.2.1 kickstart Amiga 1200 version. This is better than other versions. So I copy this one and I rename the file into kick 321 ROM because on the config txt file this is the name of the ROM that EMU68 tries to map. And that's all for booting EMU68 system and install Amiga operating system from floppy disk. But as I will try to use this 2 GB partition for the sharing of files, we'll create a new folder called shared where I will copy what I think I will use to install everything on Amiga side, or at least the most important files. So I will copy the OS 3.2 CD-ROM files into this shared folder, then the EMU68 VC4 card, that it's the driver for the RTG card for the Pistorm, LHA to decompress the files, mount FAT, so mount list created by Pedro Cotter. It should be useful for mounting the FAT32 partition while being into the Amiga. Okay, the NDK Picasso 96, but you can use the version you can find on Aminet. This is the 3.2.4 version, and the update for 3.2. This should be enough for the moment. Okay, now I inserted this SD on the Pistorm in the Amiga, and it boots regularly, but with the 3.2.1 kickstart. We need to have another thing. This thing is a floppy. I call this Pistorm 3.2 install. The first thing I try to do is to make the FAT32 partition on the SD visible on Amiga. I load the disk now. This is the 3.2 install floppy. I removed the activate CD program, the CD file system, and I make space for the FAT95 handler and for the mount list by Pedro Cotter. And this is the 3.2 install disk. So in the package of Pedro Cotter there is both the mount FAT icon, that is this one, and the FAT95 handler that should be put in the L drawer. So double clicking the mount FAT, the SD partition is visible, so I can show, go to the shared folder, and I have the OS CD ready to be installed. Okay, now we try to set up the Amiga hard drive. We go to the install 3.2 floppy, to HD tools. We have to change some information on the HD toolbox. So we go into information. We have to change this device. It should be called BRCM minus SD HC device, and the SCSI max loon should be set to 0, and then we can save. Now we double click on the HD toolbox and it should show something. Okay, it shows us two SCSI devices. The 0 device should be left untouched, so we should work only on the SCSI 1. So we go to change drive type, define new, we give a name, red configuration, continue. Okay, it gives an error here, so we need to click cancel, define new another time. I don't know why it gives this error, but the second time, if it changes maybe here SD red, you have to insist, probably. Okay, after 10 times it gives this Samsung version 3, and now we can click OK, and we can go to partition drive. Okay, the first partition should be like 2 GB. This is the DH0, will be the workbench disk. I like better HD0. Bootable. Okay, new partition. This one, this I delete. This will be the main partition. Okay, so 22 GB, new partition, and now this have to be the Mac partition. Okay, not bootable, and bootable. Okay, HD0, HD1, HD2. Okay, and now save changes to the drive. Not change it. Why not? Oh, we try to exit. The drives don't appear here. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so it needed a restart. Now we can simply format the drives. HD0, icons, format disk. We call this system. Put trash can, fast file system. Okay, quick format. Always quick format the compact flash or SD. Now this one, HD1, format disk. This will be work. And the last one, format disk. This should be called Mac. Okay, and that's all. Now we are ready to install the OS 3.2 CD-ROM. So I double click on the mount FAT, and this is the FAT partition. Windows show all files. As now we have a lot of RAM, I decided to copy the content of the OS 3.2 CD into RAM disk. You will see how fast it is on copy operation. And I renamed the install disk into install Pistorm, because when I will mount the real install 3.2 floppy, the same name can be probably a problem. Okay, it's almost done. Okay, now on the RAM disk we have Windows show all files, OS 3.2 CD install. When I click here, it says that it needs an assign on this name, AmigaOS 3.2 CD. So I execute command assign AmigaOS 3.2 CD as RAM OS 32 CD. Okay, execute. Okay, now we double click start here to start AmigaOS 3.2. You click double click on install. Okay, I go to virtual floppies and I mount the install 3.2. Okay, and now I have the icon of install 3.2 here. Double click, install English. Now probably checks for an icon. So this program lets install 3.2. Proceed. Proceed. No, this can be okay. Do you want to install in the install Python partition? No. So I select system drawer. Okay. English. Proceed. Want to install glow icons? Yes. And then can see how fast it is. It mounts all the floppies automatically. This system is running for a CPU of 3040, and he asks to install the libs. Proceed. Okay, proceed. Okay, maybe we can just copy from the floppy the mount FAT, maybe in system. Okay, mount FAT, so we can access the FAT partition. Show all files. Now we can go to show all files to the L drawer. Okay, here. Then we go to the L drawer on the system hard drive, and we copy the FAT19.5. Okay, and now we can take out the floppy. Okay, and reboot the system, and now should boot on the hard drive. We go to the RGB. Okay, and yeah, system boots correctly. Maybe I can change the screen mode in iRes list for a better view of the icons. Okay, now we can mount the FAT32 partition. It's here, and now we can install the update 3.2 and 1. So Windows show all files. We need the LHA. I open the RAM disk. LHA is shared. Okay. Okay, RAM here. Okay. Then I need the update 3.2.1 LHA. Then we open the RAM disk, show all files, LHA run, execute. It extracts all the LHA here in RAM. So I take the LHA 6040, rename it into simple LHA. It's more simple to have, and copy it to the C of my system. Show all files, C. So take LHA, put it into the C. Then we go back to the shell, go to the RAM disk, RAM, okay. And we can LHAX update 3.2.1. Point LHA RAM. So I decompress into the RAM the update. RAM. Okay. Okay, then into RAM we should have something here. Windows show all the icons, show all, update 3.21. Maybe go into IDF, update 3.2.1 IDF. Okay, install English. This program updates hard drive. Okay, proceed. Now this user, proceed with install. Update will be installed. Okay. System partition, yeah. Languages, okay. English for me, it's okay. And voila. And okay. Now we have a complete 3.2.1 system installed on our Amiga. Now the system reboots again, and yeah, 3.2.1. That's all for now. Ciao e alla prossima.